All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about something that's like an organization's hidden immune system, operational risk management. It's the framework that, when it's working right, keeps a company humming along, protecting it from all the things that can go wrong on the inside. So let's get into how it all works.
So think about this for a second. How can something as small as a typo, one single data entry error, lead to a catastrophic billion-dollar meltdown? It sounds crazy, right? But the answer is operational risk. It's that invisible thread connecting every single human action, every bit of code, and every surprise event that could possibly hit a business. So, let's get the official definition on the table. Operational risk is the risk of loss resulting from inadequate or failed internal processes, people, and systems, or from external events. But what does that actually mean in plain English? It's basically the risk of things breaking down because of how a company, well, operates. And getting a handle on it is absolutely mission critical. Okay, so you've got this huge, sprawling risk. How on earth do you even begin to manage it? Well, you need a blueprint. And that's exactly what an operational risk framework is. It's the whole architectural plan for finding, measuring, and getting these risks under control before they blow up. Now, what's really fascinating is that these frameworks don't just appear out of thin air. They evolve. They grow up. A company doesn't just decide to be good at this one day. It usually starts small, right here at stage one, with an audit team just reacting to problems as they pop up. Then they get a little more serious and create a dedicated unit. But the real magic, the big leap, happens right here, between steps 2 and 3. This is when a company goes from just having a risk team to actually using data to get ahead of problems. It's the shift from playing defense to playing offense, and it leads to all the really sophisticated stuff, like key risk indicators and full integration. So what's actually in this framework? Well, you can think of it as a complete toolkit. Down at the bottom, you've got your foundation, the tech and infrastructure that holds everything up. Then you've got the qualitative stuff. These are the big ideas, the governance, the company culture around risk, the overall strategy, basically the rules of the game. Then come the quantitative inputs. This is your raw intelligence, data on past failures, self-assessments from the front lines, and what-if scenarios. And what do you get on the other side? The quantitative outputs, powerful risk models and super clear reports that tell the people in charge exactly what they need to know to make the right call. You're going to hear this acronym RCSA thrown around a ton, so let's just bust that jargon right now. It stands for Risk and Control Self-Assessment, and the key word there is self. This isn't some executive in a corner office guessing what could go wrong. No, this is a process where the actual teams doing the work get to identify and evaluate the risks in their own backyard. It's maybe the most important way to get real intelligence from the front lines. A blueprint is great, but a blueprint doesn't build itself, right? You need people. You need builders, maintainers, and defenders. So who are the guardians responsible for protecting the organization from operational risk? Well, the answer lies in a really powerful concept. Not 3, but 4 lines of defense. And that fourth line is especially vital for operational risk because it sets the tone for, well, pretty much everything. All right, here's how it all fits together. Your first line of defense is the business itself. The managers, the team leaders, they own the risk because they're making the decisions every single day. The second line is your specialized risk management team. They're the experts providing oversight, guidance, and challenging the first line. The third line is your independent check. Think internal audit, making sure everyone is actually playing by the rules. And then you have the big one, the crucial fourth line, the board of directors. They sit at the very top, and they're the ones who decide how much risk the company is willing to take and define the culture that everyone else has to live by. And within that structure, you have your key commanders. The board of directors gives the thumbs up on the grand strategy. The chief risk officer, the CRO, is like the general on the ground, leading the charge and making sure the framework is actually implemented. The risk management function, those are your specialists handling the day-to-day grind of assessing and watching the risks. And then you often have a dedicated risk committee to wrestle with the really thorny technical problems and keep the whole strategy on track. Okay, so we've seen the blueprint and we've met the guardians, but you might be thinking, why go through all this trouble? Why does this matter so much? So let's talk about the payoff, because getting this right, the rewards are just enormous. Seriously, why invest all this time and money into such a complex system? What's the real ultimate return on that investment? The benefits are huge. I mean, the obvious one, of course, is you stop losing money from stupid mistakes or system failures. But it goes so much deeper than that. You protect your company's reputation, which is basically priceless. Your business actually runs better because your processes are cleaner. It creates real accountability so people know who's responsible for what. You stay on the right side of regulators, and you might even have to hold less capital on your books. And all of that adds up to one thing: making smarter, better strategic decisions for the future. You know, if there's just one idea to take away from all of this, it's this quote right here. It says it all. Op-risk governance is just good op-risk management. A brilliant framework is just a piece of paper without the governance, the people, the rules, the accountability to actually bring it to life.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to really think about. Look at that list of benefits we just went through. Everything from saving money to making better decisions. For your company, or any company you know, which single one of those would be the biggest game changer? Your answer to that tells you everything you need to know about the real power of getting operational risk right. That's our explainer for today.